Hello and welcome to the Paranormal Sideshow. I'm your host, John Edwards, and joined as always by my lovely wife, Stacey.
Hello.
And well, you might have thought we were just here, but we weren't. We were gone, and then we're back again, and it has to be something crazy to pull us out of that hole.
It's been so crazy.
Yeah, it has. It's been real crazy. I mean, just a little bit of everything. Like a lot of everything.
Yeah.
A
Definitely.
lot of everything. It's been fun, though. It's really not been fun at all. It's not
There's been fun moments.
We're trying to be nice about it. But you know what's important?
What?
What's important is you're here. I'm here. It's almost your birthday.
It is.
Yeah.
It's my birthday week, almost.
Exactly. we celebrate birthday weeks in this family. And it is also the Ween of Hollows. It is coming. It's exciting. It's October.
Yeah.
We have our little Oktoberfest happen here. So I'm excited about that. I've even talked to some old friends this week that I haven't spoke with in a long time. They probably just think that, as always, I'm just ignoring them, but it's not like that at all.
It's not really like that.
They don't understand my job,
That's true.
my Bruce Wayne job, that chains me to a machine.
Yes. You're a slave.
I'm pretty much a slave.
Slave to your career.
I dare say, if you were to even out the hours I work and divide the amount of money I make, I'm an indentured servant at best. Like, I'm not sure most people work 7 days a week.
No. My favorite part is when the phone rings at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Because there's an alarm going off somewhere and nobody else will answer the phone.
Yeah. Well, I've fixed most of that.
That's my favorite part.
I hired people that answer the phones. We don't really have that happen too much anymore. So, it's a good thing. But you know what else is cool about October?
What's that?
List.
Ooh, lists.
Oh, yeah. And listen, I don't want to bury the lead, but I got to bury the lead a little bit. We have one of the biggest stories ever, potentially, totally potentially, coming up later in the show. When we do the news, you don't want to miss this story because you may have seen this story, but there's a good chance you haven't.
That's true.
It's not, they put stupid stuff on instead, like hurricanes and stuff like that and politics and crap. So you may have missed this very important story.
Right.
But this story could take over all the news when you want to see politics here soon. As weird as that is, huh? I mean, they wouldn't do that on purpose.
I wouldn't think so.
No, that'd be silly, right?
That would be silly.
So I got some lists.
Okay.
And I'm going to go through those lists.
Okay.
I just think it's cool. I've been playing with ChatGPT.
Oh, yes. Yes, you have. The pictures are interesting.
Okay, don't talk about my pictures. I have to feed it things.
I'm a little salty with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It does not depict me well in pictures.
It's hard to figure you out. It's, it takes a true artist to understand the beauty of Mona Lisa.
It
right?
makes me a man most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
An old man sometimes.
I don't think it's you as much as it knows me. So it's doing that off the ChatGPT, and it's like, yeah, she's totally a beard.
So it makes me a guy.
Yeah, it's like telling me something.
Right, right.
So anyway, we have this list. And so I was like, all right, ChatGPT, let's try you out.
Okay.
I've been making paranormal lists for longer than there's been lists.
Probably not. Probably not that long.
No. About as long as there's been paranormal lists.
There you go.
So anyway, since the damn beginning of the internet, the well-to-use internet.
Right. The well-to-use. I like that. Okay. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so I put some stuff into this here computer.
Okay.
And it spit out some stuff. And you know what? I was kind of delighted.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did it do a pretty good job?
I was upset. Because I'm still going to make my own damn list.
Right.
This isn't going to be a thing.
Okay.
But it's a thing right now. I'm going to pass through some of these, right? So I put into my ChatGPT. I wanted to know top 10 list of some of the most unexplained paranormal events in history that continue to mystify and intrigue.
Is that how you put the prompt in?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm curious to see what it came up with.
Well, number 10 was the Hinterkaifeck murders.
Okay.
1922. In rural Germany, the 6 members of the Gruber family, you'll know it from that,
Right.
were brutally murdered with a pickaxe on their farm. Strange occurrences were reported leading up to the murders, such as mysterious footprints in the snow leading to the house, but none leading away. The sounds of footsteps in the attic. The case remains unsolved, with theories ranging from a vengeful spirit to a deranged intruder. I love that one.
That one's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's one that might not have made the list otherwise.
That's true. Wait, can I ask you a question? I'm so sorry. Did ChatGPT number them from 10 to 1? Or
Yes.
are you doing that? Oh, so it's like a countdown. It did like a countdown.
Yeah, it's a computer. I asked it to do it. It did it.
I didn't know you asked it to do the countdown. That's why I was asking. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Continue. Number 9.
Number 9. It also don't interrupt me when I'm trying to read a list.
Right.
So,
Okay.
unless I ask it to. Number 9. The Bigfoot encounter at Ape Canyon.
Okay.
Hell of a place to have a Bigfoot encounter.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to have a Bigfoot encounter.
Right. I
Do
mean,
you think it was named Ape Canyon before the Bigfoot encounter?
that's what I was wondering. Like, maybe it was just an unusually large ape,
Or maybe it was just a canyon.
and then they called it Ape Canyon because somebody's like, I saw Bigfoot. And they're like, nah, you saw an ape. And like, see, we're even going to name it Ape Canyon.
Maybe the guy's name was Ape Canyon.
Maybe.
It happened in the woods somewhere.
Maybe his name was Abe, but it's like a typo.
It could have been. Those old typewriters used to do things like that. 1924, the year. Several miners in Washington State claimed they were attacked by a group of large, ape-like creatures, which they later believed were Bigfoot. Their cabin was allegedly bombarded with rocks. Allegedly rocks. And that'd be the way to tell if it was a Bigfoot or not.
Right.
If it was apes, it'd just be a bunch of shit getting thrown at you. And they claimed the creatures, they saw the creatures peeking into their windows during the night.
Huh. That's creepy.
It could also be second cousins of
Bunch
mine.
of creepy apes,
Yeah.
like peeking in on you.
Number 8, the Taos Hum. Ongoing.
Oh, okay.
In the small town of Taos, I think it's Taos, isn't there? Or Taos, New Mexico. Someone will correct me.
Yeah.
Residents have reported hearing a persistent, low-frequency hum since the early 1990s. Despite numerous studies, no definitive source for the hum has ever been identified. See, I'd be terrible investigating that. You know how I am about mysterious booms and skyquakes, which are happening again. But I would still have to F with them. Like, I'd come out there, and I would totally hear...
Right.
They'd be like, do you hear it, man? Excuse me, sir? Hear what? Are you kidding me? The hum. You don't hear that. Sir, I don't hear any hum. I'm not sure what you're speaking about. And then they just run off a cliff. I mean, you have to do that, right?
It'd be funny.
It would be funny. I'd be great for the FBI.
You would be.
Number 7, The Battle of Los Angeles, 1942. Of course, we know anti-aircraft guns fired at mysterious objects spotted over Los Angeles during World War II. Many people believe the event was an attack by UFOs, where a covert armament... That was ChatGPT's problem.
Yeah.
Though the U.S. military explained it as a false alarm caused by war jitters.
War jitters.
Yeah, they're like rabbits, except they wear helmets. Number 6, The Infield Poltergeist.
Oh, okay.
It's not as scary as the outfield poltergeist.
No.
That screwed up a lot of left fielders. Going for I got it. This happened from 1977 to 1979. In a London suburb, the Hogsden family claimed to experience paranormal events such as objects moving, unexplained knocking sounds, and even levitation of one of the children's. The case was widely covered by the media, though skeptics doubt its authenticity, probably because that fucking kid they threw in the air and took the picture.
They're like, hold on, jump.
Yeah, there's levitation, and then there's snap, 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 snap. Number 5, The Bell Witch Diddle. 1817 to 1821.
Yes.
I loved that freaking story until I saw that movie. The movie
Did it
where,
ruin it for you?
The one where they heavily implied the diddling.
Right.
And that the poltergeist would be caused by the diddling.
Right.
Because we know how teen diddles always calls poltergeist.
Yes.
It's a proven fact. Mine calls like several poltergeists. I think they happened to this very day. What?
Nothing. I was waiting for you to continue.
I could point to the hospital that it's currently haunted. In Tennessee, the Bell family claimed they were tormented by an invisible entity capable of speaking, moving objects, and even physically attacking them. This case is one of the most famous hauntings in United States history and inspired many ghost stories, and one shitty one.
Yes. One terrible movie.
Number 4, the Mothman sightings.
Ooh.
1966 to 1967, and randomly on internet forums. In Point Pleasant, West Virginia, numerous people reported seeing a human-like creature with large wings and glowing red eyes. These sightings culminated in the collapse of the Silver Bridge, killing 46 people.
Terrible.
The Mothman is now a lasting part of cryptic folklore and a cool once-a-year festival.
And can be seen right now at the airport in Chicago. Isn't that where they see him all the time now?
Yeah, or you can go touch the butthole of the statue.
That statue's a nice butt.
Oh, I mean, people love to touch it.
Mothman has a butt.
Yes.
Tell you.
Yes. Number 3, so does Bigfoot.
That's what we hear.
Yeah, nice shiny ass.
Nice glutes.
Yeah, like a little penis. Micro penis and a nice ass. Isn't that always the way? Number 3, the Phoenix Lights. 1997. Thousands of people across Arizona witnessed massive silent V-shaped lights flying over the state. To this day, there's no official explanation, and it remains one of the most well-documented UFO sightings in history.
Nobody's even trying to explain it. They're just like, huh.
Oh, I mean, they've had like much better than that. So they really haven't. That was like a huge...
That one was amazing. So many people saw it.
It was so big.
Yeah.
It was so big. You don't forget the big one.
No, that's true.
Number 2, the fucking Roswell incident.
Really? They put Roswell on there? At least it wasn't number 1.
Number 1, the Outlaw Pass.
Oh, I like that one.
I know you like that one.
I mean, it's terrible. What happened was terrible. I don't like it like that, but it's just intriguing. I like the intriguingness of it.
Yes, we know how you are. 1959. In Russia's Ural Mountains, 9 experienced hikers mysteriously died under bizarre circumstances. Their tents were found torn open from the inside, and some bodies had strange injuries. One had a fractured skull. Another had no eyes or tongue. To this day, the cause remains unknown, with theories ranging from secret military testing to UFOs. So that was that list, but that wasn't the only one I did.
Oh, we've done another list.
I've done a few, but we're not going to go through all of them.
Okay.
I tend to try to think of cool things, right? Mm-hmm. So I ask, what are 20 cities in America that are widely considered to be among the most haunted?
Oh, very interesting. Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
And this is based on historical events, ghost sightings, and eerie legends.
Ooh. Huh. I can't even think of any right now. There has to be one in Michigan.
This is pretty cool.
Somewhere.
I thought it was cool because it's Halloween.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, number 20. Mm-hmm. Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not what I would have guessed.
Famous for Edgar Allan Poe's grave, and a city with a long haunted past, including ghost sightings at Fells Point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Number 19, Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Known for haunted venues like the Ryman Auditorium and spirits from the Civil War era. Number 18, Portland, Oregon. The city's underground tunnels, known for, the Shanghai tunnels, are rumored to be haunted by those who were kidnapped and forced into labor. Number 17, Galveston, Texas. The site of one of the deadliest hurricanes in United States history. This island city has countless ghostly stories linked to the disaster. Number 16, Asheville, North Carolina.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one's probably one of those times you don't want to... like, had I read this list before...
Right.
I may have taken that one off there at the time being.
Right, but before the hurricane...
So let's just put a pin in number 16.
Okay. I can see where it would end up on this list beforehand.
Right. Listen, we used to live there. Mm-hmm. I still have many friends there. And our hearts, prayers go out to everybody that was affected from Hurricane Helene, and everybody who was affected, from the latest Milton down in Florida. Just terrible, terrible disasters. Mm-hmm. The Asheville disaster, and the surrounding area, unlike anything we've ever seen in that area. It's unprecedented, just terrible. So yes, let's put a pin in it. Number 15, Key West, Florida, home to Robert the Doll.
Yes.
One of the most famous haunted dolls in history, as well as other eerie stories of shipwrecks and haunted mansions.
Can't take his picture without his permission.
Number 14, Newport, Rhode Island. Historic mansions and waterfront haunts make this city a paranormal hotspot. Number 13, New York, New York. City so haunted they had to name it twice. The city that never sleeps has plenty of ghost stories, from haunted theaters on Broadway to haunted hotels. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, yes, it's haunted as hell. Of course it is.
Oh, I think I just thought of what number 1's going to be.
Number 12, Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Colonial Williamsburg is known for its ghost tours, with tales of spectral soldiers and 18th century hauntings. Number 11, San Francisco, California. Alcatraz Island and the Queen Anne Hotel are just a couple of notoriously haunted spots in this foggy city. Number 10, Washington, D.C. The White House is said to be haunted by past presidents, and many other government buildings carry ghostly legends. Damn you, White House. Number 9, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Historic sites like Eastern State Penitentiary and Independence Hall are known for ghost sightings and eerie vibes. The city's just got an eerie vibe.
It does.
Number 8, Chicago, Illinois. Ghosts from the Great Chicago Fire and the St. Valentine's Day Massacre and haunted sites like the Congress Plaza Hotel make this city spooky.
Spooky.
Number 7, San Antonio, Texas. Famous for the haunted Alamo and the mysterious ghost tracks where children are said to push cars uphill. Every town has one.
Yeah.
Number 6, St. Augustine, Florida. The oldest city in the United States is home to the haunted lighthouse, fort, and centuries of ghost stories. Can't believe it made it that high. Number 5, Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The infamous Salem witch trials left a haunting legacy in the small town known for its paranormal activity. Number 4, Charleston, South Carolina. Full of colonial history, Charleston is known for haunted inns, pirate legends, and spooky cemeteries. Number 3,
Savannah.
Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, see, I thought Gettysburg was going to be number 1.
Wouldn't you think that?
I would have thought Gettysburg won.
Me too. The site of the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. It's said to be the home of numerous ghost sightings, especially the Gettysburg battlefield. Number 2, Savannah, Georgia. Often called America's most haunted city, unless it's this damn list.
Right. Well, what's number 1?
Savannah is filled with historic homes and eerie cemeteries. You would get it if you think really hard. What do you think number 1 is? Just think of Sodom and Gomorrah in America.
Vegas.
Oh. Okay, so think of Gomorrah.
I don't know. Atlantic City.
No. Think of titties. Random titties.
Just really don't know.
Titties everywhere. Bunch of boobs. Mostly ones you don't want to see.
Somewhere in Florida.
Think of beads being thrown at you.
Oh, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I have to I guess so.
Okay. All right. Think of the most haunted building you want to own.
Right.
What city's that in? New Orleans.
Well, I mean, that's one building. That's not the whole city, but there's a lot of like voodoo and stuff down there. So
And hoodoo.
Yeah. So I can see why it would be one of the most haunted cities.
And titties.
And lots of debauchery.
Floppy titties.
Tons of debauchery.
Big titties. Swollen titties.
You're starting to sound like Dust Till Dawn now.
Except the fact that I grossed myself out with the swollen one. Like I like crossed my own line. Have you ever done that? You're just like talking. It's just like
oh, ew,
no. I apologize for swollen titties.
Okay.
New Orleans, Louisiana, known for its rich history of voodoo, haunted mansions, ghostly legends, and swollen titties, including the infamous LaLaurie Mansion.
Yes.
See, it even called to you.
It did.
Yes.
Craziness.
It is wacky. Mm-hmm. It is very wacky. So I've got a couple more, and I'm not going to do them right now.
Okay.
But I got some really cool ones, and I am going to do those later. But I might come up with some better stuff before the next episode, and we can make a real list. And what I want to do is put ChatGPT versus Stacey.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, man. Okay. Man versus machine.
Okay.
So we'll see if you can make a more interesting list.
Okay.
than ChatGPT.
So you're just going to give me the topic?
Well, I thought it might be fun if someone else gave us topics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys want to, let us know on Facebook, on the Twitter, any of these wonderful ways to let us know. On a YouTube comment, on a comment anywhere.
Yeah.
Let us know, what would you like us to do a list on? And then we'll have Stacey do her research and blow the dust off her books. And I'll fire up the pooter, and we will.
We'll see how close it is.
Yeah, we'll see how close it is. We'll see which one's tastier.
Right. I gotcha. Okay, sounds like fun. Sounds like a fun challenge.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. But you know what really sounds good to me?
What's that?
I mean, awesome. Just sounds fantastic. I want to hear some paranormal news because there's a story I want to hear. All right, it's time for Paranormal News. Stacey Edwards.
All right, so let's get to the news.
Let's.
All right, so I guess we're going to start with this humongous story that you've been waiting on.
I have.
Yes, it's about the woman who calls 911 after being hounded up by up to 100 raccoons, right?
I tell you what.
No, wait, that one's... I've got my pile upside down. Sorry.
I mean, I would definitely listen to that story.
We'll get to that later.
All
right, so...
Do you see after getting pounded by?
No. That would be awful. Hounded.
Oh, hounded. Oh, God. I mean, you would imagine they'd be pretty quick.
Just raccoons running a train on this poor woman.
I mean, they don't have a lot of stamina from what I hear. But their little bandit eyes seems to make sense.
Okay, we'll just bring that back around. Okay. So, supposedly, there is a huge alien announcement that could happen within weeks, according to a professor.
Yes.
Now, Professor Simon Holland, who has produced documentaries for like NASA-funded projects, including a project that's pinpointing like Earth-threatening asteroids. Like, I mean, he's connected. He knows things, right?
He's a made man.
He claims that there are two rival groups of astronomers who are in a race to publish the first confirmed evidence of an extraterrestrial civilization, and that this announcement is going to come very soon. Now, this article that I have is one from the Mirror, and he told them, we have found a non-human extraterrestrial intelligence in our galaxy, and people don't know about it. And he explains that he's been given information by a contact within Breakthrough Listen, which is, that privately funded initiative aimed at finding evidence of civilizations. Now, we talked about this when it started. It was started by Yuri Milner, like that billionaire Yuri Milner, and Stephen Hawking. And since it started, they've had a couple different projects start that go along with it.
Right.
There's a Breakthrough Listen, there's Breakthrough Message, Breakthrough Starshot, and Breakthrough Enceladus. Now, whenever Breakthrough Starshot started, that's when Mark Zuckerberg kind of got on board because he's in with that.
Yeah.
With that project. So
because he's an alien.
So this particular team that's working on this, what he's talking about here, is being funded by Zuckerberg and Yuri Milner. Now, they're racing to gather more evidence to support their potentially game-changing discovery.
Right.
Now, he claims that the news could potentially come within the next month, which would coincide with, the election.
Fancy that.
Yeah, imagine that. It's just such a coincidence how that happens.
Yeah, it really is.
But he claims that it's two different teams, and one of the teams is Chinese. So he's saying that it's breaking news, but as of yesterday, the Chinese might be trying to get this information out first. Now, the Chinese have the FAST telescope, that 500-meter aperture spherical telescope program.
Yes, they do.
And so that's how they've sort of been doing this. And Breakthrough Listen uses...
Because they know the coordinates. That's
right.
the thing. The Chinese team knows the coordinates just like the other team.
Now, the target object, it's known as BLC-1, is known to the Chinese, and the two teams are competing. And there's 5 potential technosigil...
Do you think it's Big Lizard Colony?
5 potential, maybe, Big Lizard... Oh, that fits.
Yeah.
They do like their anagrams. 5 potential technosigil...
Could be Big Long
I'm going to say this word.
Colony.
5 potential techno-signature candidates were identified.
Was that really the hard word?
Yes, I kept getting tongue-tied on it. Were identified from a re-examination of SETI's screensaver program,
Well, people missed us.
I bet. I don't know if I think we talked about this before, but there was a program that SETI was doing where they were utilizing people's computers. Like you could opt into the program and they utilized
golf on the computer
the world's PCs to sift through masses of data, generated by radio telescopes.
I don't agree with it, Mr. Wayne.
And so they came up with these 5 potential techno signatures. And whatever the source of the signals turns out to be, it's like no known natural phenomena. It's a single point source. It's not just a noise.
Wherever they find techno, you know it's aliens.
Right. And they're saying that it's definitely some kind of signal. It's not just like random space noise.
Yes.
And so they're trying to rush to get more information on this before the Chinese do.
Wouldn't it suck to find a plant that just put out the techno signature?
That would be awful. So supposedly in the next few weeks.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Right.
In layman's, right? Mm-hmm. Let me call it for you. Layman! Oh, layman!
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Could you please explain what's happening?
Yes, sir. Aliens. They found aliens. They're not even messing around with it. They just said they found aliens. They found aliens, like UFO, big aliens. And they're just fighting over who gets to say it first.
Thank you, layman.
No problem.
All right. So he stays with Johnson most of the time. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. We'll bring layman back later. So implication time.
Right.
All right. So it's like that needs a theme song. Implication time. So the implications, right, are huge. I was talking about this earlier with another co-host of mine. And that co-host said, do you think people really care? Didn't they not really make a big deal over the... So I slapped that co-host.
Right.
And I said, damn your eyes. Last time, they were just saying, yeah, we can't explain it. Mm-hmm. There's unexplained balls of light. Right? It's not ours.
Right.
It's not theirs, more than likely, but we're not sure. Mm-hmm. Right? That's kind of where they left it.
Right.
It's not ours. Mm-hmm. We don't have that technology. Then when it got a little hotty-toddy, because there was people out there, on the stand, and they got like the most brave people I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. But they were kind of like,
yes, sir. It was doing maneuvers that there was no way that with the technological atmosphere and the compost toilet seats that plumbed up to the nether region of the 1272 gravitational force.
Like everybody under 40 in the world tuned out.
Right.
I think they wanted that. Mm-hmm. And then they got Grush up there, which God knows what. Anybody seen him lately? Yeah. Anyway, so it's it just didn't come off like we wanted.
Right.
Sure, the community that always gets excited was excited, kinda, until they turned on one another, and they're like,
I don't know, man. That little Alzondo's full of shit. I'll kill him, man. I hate that guy. And
then someone else, I don't know, man. I don't know that Grush, man. I don't believe in him. What I'm saying. And they're all fighting one another.
Right.
It's like, you idiots. You freaking flipping morons. Mm-hmm. Why? They know you're going to do this. Mm-hmm. It's almost like let's put 2 experts out there. They'll fight about it all day.
I'm more worried about him. Like, let's put an expert out there that says he's giving the truth, but he's really not.
Yeah, well, that's what everybody's worried about. Mm-hmm. Okay? But you can't be worried about that.
This is true.
This is the thing. If you ever want to progress it, you know what? Sometimes you're just going to get fucked. Sometimes when you go out there, you're going to get something that doesn't burn off for a few weeks, and it's going to take a lot of penicillin. But if you ever want to get fucking laid, you're going to have to go out there and take it, baby, all right? You got to go out there on the dance floor and swing it around and be like, all right, let's go back to the house, like recently divorced woman at 3 a.m. It's going to happen, right? when she tells you that's her cats and they're really loud, you know it's your kids. But you're just going to have to do it. You're going to have to take one for the team or you're never going to get any poo-tang. All right? So here's the deal. There's going to be people that come across and they're going to give you false information. Yes, it happens. But there's also going to be people that are telling you the bloody truth.
Yep, that's true.
And unfortunately, they have messed with people's heads so much at this point that every time someone puts anything out, after all these years of people coming forward and it being wrong or, you know, being laughed at or anything like that,
right?
Everybody is just like, yeah, that's full of shit. I don't believe him. You know, like, it's really crazy when the nightly news is more likely to believe a UFO story than the Reddit UFO community.
Hey, there's some critics in there.
Dude, I love it to one extent because they will pick stuff apart.
Right.
And if it is false, they'll find it. I really do love I live on it.
I know.
I live on it.
You do.
I don't comment on it, but I live there.
You're a lurker.
I'm watching you bastards. I'm watching all of you. And the Twitter UFO verse.
Right.
I live there too. It's honestly not as bad as the Reddit one if you're trying to tell something.
True.
But you gotta every now and then just take a little chance of maybe this is real. And yeah, it's going to be fantastical and hard to believe because we're talking about another fucking species from space.
Right.
In little fucking crafts. You know, it's going to be hard to fucking handle.
So what is your prediction for this? Do you think it's something that they know and they're just holding on to until the election?
All right. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So here's the deal. Back to the implications.
Okay.
Got me all hot and bothered about this.
I am so sorry.
So the big deal is, the reason this is a big deal, a bigger dealer than the last one, is because we're actually talking about non-human intelligence.
Right.
We're actually talking, last time we were avoiding that, like the penicillin burning, you know, pee-pee burns.
Right.
It was something they didn't want to talk about. This time, however, it's the main story.
Right.
They're talking about a non-human intelligence. Then they know where they're at. They know where they're having their techno party, right? So they've got the receipts, baby. They've got the X on the map, right?
Right.
The brothers would be digging this shit up with a big drill.
They can't pass this one off on another country, can they?
No.
Oh, I think it's them Russians up there in space sending
freaking the Lagina brothers are on their way right now. There's an X on the map. There's an X.
They're bringing the drill.
Yeah. We'll get this bastard. Somebody call Bruce Willis. He's dead, sir. What? Drill. Never mind.
I know. I got you. Anyway.
Anyway, we're talking about aliens and UFOs, but they're talking about the fact that it's not like a year away,
right,
or anything like that. This story, which I used to, Professor Simon. I subscribe to his Patreon. For real.
No, I know.
So that was really crazy to me.
Yeah. That he's the one that said it?
Yeah. I was like, wait a second. I trust this guy. And he said it. So, I mean, could a face like that lie to me?
No, I don't think so,
maybe,
actually.
But I hope not, right? So, I mean, it's really a cool deal because it's interesting. And it's interesting for other reasons, too. Some of the other reasons are the 2026 deal, right? 2026, 2027.
Right.
It's different from different sources. Of there being things on their way. And then there's people that were like whistleblowers or something saying, look, we'll give you a couple years to get ready for this because we're coming. So it's however you want to explain to your people you've been lying to that we exist. And that all this other just phony baloney stuff you came up with was just to control them. You know?
Right.
We'll give you a little bit of time to explain to them how the Catholic Church is actually Rome and it never fell. And they've been controlling people and, I don't know, just doing things like pulling all their history in the middle of a town and burning the shit out of it for, a couple thousand years, killing people for, in the name of peace. And all the wars and all the, based on what? Religion. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that might take a little explaining.
Right.
I can hear Ricky Ricardo now. So people, how would you get that out there? How would you do that? Well, one good thing you could do is get a trusty looking sweet professor to say, guess what we found out in space? It seems like a techno signature. This word we came up with last year, but we want to make it sound like it's been around forever.
Right.
And it's the end all be all to this has to be aliens, because we're not going to explain to you exactly what it is, but we might say it in science terms, and we all go to school to learn to confuse you. Because we could call everything something that would make sense.
Right.
Like alien stuff. But instead, we're going to call it this. Because we learned these words to confuse and baffle you. Because we don't know a goddamn thing we're doing.
Right.
So anyway, it'd be a great way to get it out there, right?
Right.
And then it's coming. Then it's released out in the news, right? Probably like the day before the election, because there's not really Democrats or Republicans, either one. There's an invisible hand that's controlling everything. But, it'd be a great distraction to...
Well, I'm curious, would they announce it in the election to distract from the election, or so the election distracts from the announcements?
Well, no, I think it'd be the other way, so they get whoever they want, whoever that is.
Right.
So they make sure they get whoever they want, because if you announce that aliens are on their way to planet Earth, and there's an election like 2 days later,
right,
you could actually have people at gunpoint in several states telling you to vote a certain way, and it's not going to beat that lead story. Something tells me.
Right.
Call me fucking wacky.
Okay, wacky.
But I don't think that's going to beat that lead story.
Right.
Because this time, we're not talking about little lights that we can't explain. We're saying that we know it's aliens because of this whamma bamma jamma whamma signature that we came up with, the techno signature, that this obviously has, and obviously means it's aliens. Yeah. Yeah. It's not some satellite. No. Not some space junk or some random rock. No, buddy, this is aliens. This is intelligent life. That's how they said it. Intelligent life.
Wow.
That scares everybody. Because we all are dumb as shit.
Yeah, we are.
And we know if they can fly here from there.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
They're smarter than us, baby. Because we ain't flying to them.
That's right. We're in trouble.
Yeah, we're in trouble. So that's why I think this is a big deal. You agree?
I agree. It is a very big deal.
I mean, if it comes off like this, right?
Right.
If they have an announcement as early as in the next month, then it's going to be the biggest deal. And if China says it first, then they'll just say that it's all full of crap, probably. But so, what do you think?
I really don't know. Whatever it is, I think they already know. Like, they've had this signature for a while now. Like, they're supposedly looking for, more evidence to back it up, but it's not like they haven't known about this techno signature, according to this article, for a while. So, because it says they found evidence of a non-human technological signature a few years ago using the Parkes telescope in Australia. But since it's such an extraordinary claim, it requires extraordinary evidence. And so that team that's been funded by Zuckerberg, who may be an alien, and Yuri Milner are racing to gather more evidence to support the claim. But
I like how you say his name like Newman. Zuckerberg.
But meanwhile, somehow the Chinese got the coordinates.
Well, of course.
No idea how that happened.
From a balloon.
So now there's a race against the clock kind of thing. So
yeah. Well, I mean, listen,
know.
That was the second part of your question, and to answer you, yes, I believe that we've had interactions with them for hundreds of years. I mean, if it's to be believed, right?
Right.
If we have aliens on their way to Earth right now,
right,
they've been here. They know us.
Well, on sort of the same theme, I wanted to talk about this story that I saw that was from a couple of weeks ago. That was also in the Mirror. And the only reason I want to mention this is because it does say something kind of interesting. And this is the one about the USAF whistleblower that claims a huge UFO announcement will happen within days. Now, this is sort of the same kind of thing, but everything about the whistleblower in this story He's not saying anything that you people aren't already like guessing anyway. Now his name is Charles McNeil. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know his credentials. He's not like somebody that worked for the Department of Defense. He's just started a website and he has ideas. He says he has evidence. Like he knows what he knows is what he says. It's not like he's got documents, but he has typed up like a 50-some page whistleblower document, and he has been sending it to TV stations and the Congress, anybody he can think of to send it to. He's been doing this for years, like since 2021. So he's very serious about what he knows. And the things that he says are things that we've said like in a joking way. But there was one interesting thing here at the end. So let me just kind of tell you where he's at.
I would ask him if he had a 5-page version.
Do you have a condensed version?
Did you bullet point it?
So he alleges that he was recruited into a top secret U.S. Air Force intelligence unit tasked with maintaining a 70-year truce between the American government and an alien civilization. Yeah. Of course, 2024 is 70 years since the Eisenhower thing in 1954. So, that I guess checks out if that's true. But he claims that a planned series of events, including the partial or possibly total destruction of the state of Israel, a brief global conflict, and then a staged alien invasion using reverse engineered UFO technology is going to follow. So that's what he's saying he knows is going to happen. And that's stuff that's been speculated. That's not like, but I mean, he doesn't have like documents that show it. I'm just saying this is what he's saying.
When did he come out with this again? After the first two happened?
No, I think he's actually been doing this for years.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. Like I said, I don't have anything dated.
Okay. That's cool.
But he claims that the slow drip feed of information is a way to kind of get people used to it. And he said it's known as the Public Acclamation Program. And for decades, they've been doing it in TVs, movies, books, that sort of thing. And he's saying, according to his website, he's saying that they're going to orchestrate the Third World War, which is to intimidate the public while culling a vast numbers of the civilian population. He says the war will be interrupted by an alien invasion that has been in the planning for decades, and the alien craft will actually be secret Air Force development vehicle, like spacecraft, that are supposedly called TR-3B alien reproduction vehicles. And then during that time, we will be introduced to a variety of real aliens. And this is where I thought got kind of interesting. He said he claimed there was 2 different kinds. Enhanced humanoids from the planet of the Rigel star system, which are type AC, that have a gray or grayish pigmentation, and that they have 4 fingers with little suction cups on the ends. But then there's also one kind called type D that have a brownish pigmentation and have 5 fingers and 5 toes. Now this species, this type D species, started off fully biological until they ventured out into the cosmos and came into contact with what they now answer to, something that they call the Keeper. And they worship it, they worship technology, and thousands of years ago they started incorporating mechanics and biological makeup into their bodies.
You're trying to mess with me right now, aren't you?
No, that's what it says in here. So that's what they call it.
Holy crap.
So he further alleges that following the initial contact with these beings in the 40s, they've had the U.S. governments have dealings with a number of different alien species. And he says that even the disclosure process that's coming up, it's not planned to be 100% honest or transparent, that it's only being used as a tool to bring in the New World Order, which again is stuff. See, all of those things that he said are things that people have alleged. The part that I thought was interesting was about the aliens.
Yeah, no, that
he mentioned.
Super interesting considering.
Right.
I've had the Keeper theory for over a decade.
Yes, that is something that has always come up with us.
And
so
I've talked to invisible beings for years that told me the Keeper, this and that.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time I've ever heard that in relation to aliens.
But if it was in relation to aliens, every time it's come up, it would still make sense.
True.
About the Keeper keeping them from telling me too much.
So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about this Chris McNeil guy. He does have a website called acclimatenow.com if people want to check it out and like read his 50-some page whistleblower statement.
Yeah, I might read 48 now.
But
I like to leave a couple out just for surprises.
I thought that was a little bit interesting.
It is.
And I don't think he said anything that hasn't already been speculated.
No, I mean, listen, the best thing for me would be the aliens to show up. And the only way I'm going to believe that they don't have something in with the government is if they show up and they're like, we only came here to figure out who built the pyramids on our planet. Oh, really?
Whoops.
We got something to tell you. It's all interesting. Mm-hmm. The keeper thing's a little bit throwing me off, but
right.
It's giving me the wheelies.
It did me too when I saw it.
That's creepy as hell, dude. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really any longtime listener,
right,
is creeped out right now.
Yeah, because I mean, we've gotten that on EVPs a lot. Even if you go, you go all the way back to episode 7 of this show. Episode 7, that's been years.
Yeah.
And we played EVPs that say the keeper in them that we got years before that. So
yeah, it's almost been 10 years since we did that episode.
It's crazy.
It is. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just, I don't know, dude. Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. All right. Well, can we move on?
Let's move on. Yes. So let's talk about this one last thing that has to do with aliens. And this is about, and I'm going to mention this because I know people have seen the story about the Immaculate Constellation program.
Yes.
So
I had
this
some
is
immaculate constipation earlier.
an alleged
Felt like a
program.
brick was in my stomach. I mean, I didn't think this thing was going to come out.
Well, I heard about this tea
No.
that you can
No.
buy.
None of the ballerina tea. Not for me. No.
I want to get it so bad and just try it.
No,
just
why
to
do you
see.
want to try it?
I don't know. It just sounds. I
People were saying that they had an out of body
It
experience.
can't be as bad as all that. My favorite was some people are like, I think I pooped out a Barbie shoe I swallowed in 1984 or something.
Yeah. No, you're a very strange person.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be very cleansing,
No,
don't
you
you
need
think?
to see a doctor.
Okay. All right. So this is an alleged Pentagon program that supposedly collects information on UAP encounters. And there was a whistleblower. Now, this is being told by independent journalist Michael Schellenberger. He did an interview with News Nation, and he says that a whistleblower has revealed the existence of alleged Pentagon UFO program called Immaculate Constellation. Now, he told Ross Coulthart that about the whistleblower report, that he won't tell who the whistleblower is, but that he has met with them and verified their credentials.
It's the Pope.
And also,
That's why it's immaculate.
And
He's
probably.
trying to tell us.
right. And
The Pope called him up. He's like,
Hey, I gotta tell you what's going on. I'm really tired of kissing people and people kissing my damn hand. I gotta get this out in the open, so they kiss these guys instead.
the Pope sounds like the Godfather.
I hope. He is Italian.
He says he also independently confirmed the existence of the program with unrelated sources. Now, according to Schellenberger, the whistleblower discovered the program by accident after stumbling upon a database containing UFO information. I don't know how you accidentally stumble across a super above top secret database.
He might be looking for like forbidden porn.
Maybe.
That's why he don't tell us how he got it.
Right.
He's like, they have to have that confiscated stuff somewhere.
So the program allegedly includes information from different types of intelligence, including high-quality image intelligence and measure and signature intelligence. Supposedly just about all the different UFOs and UAPs, all the different encounters. According to this, in one encounter reportedly detailed by the whistleblower, a group of orbs surrounded an F-22 and forced it out of its designated patrol area.
Yeah.
That's one of the reports. And in another incident, the crew on an aircraft carrier reported seeing an orange-red sphere descend from high altitude and described feeling uneasy as if they had snapped out of a trance following the encounter. So I wonder how much time passed during that. But according to the Department of Defense, the spokesperson, Sue Googe, she denied records of the alleged program in a statement to News Nation that said the Department of Defense has no record, present or historical, of any type of SAP called Immaculate Constellation.
Yeah, I mean,
Just denies. Of course, they're not going to admit it.
Because we trust the government so much at this point.
Right.
I mean, it's, yeah. You trust them about as much as you do Diddy saying, hey, you want to come over and hang out for a while?
Having a party.
Having a party. Dress white.
All right, let's move on. Let's get away from the aliens.
Yeah.
No more aliens right now. Let's talk about Loch Ness.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yay.
Let's get to something true.
So a research vessel detected a distinct anomaly in Loch Ness.
Did it have a Techno signature?
I don't think so. That'd be interesting. So the claim was reportedly made by the
It's older. It's got like a folk signature.
the Loch Ness Center tourist attraction, which indicated that the significant finding came by way of their cruise boat, which is called Deep Scan. Now, it sounds sounds terrible, doesn't it? What a terrible name. The reason it's called that is because it sports a world-class sonar equipment along with an array of other devices.
The most intrusive sonar we have.
It'll
Gets right up in there.
It's designed to look for Nessie. And the vessel is said to have stumbled upon something unusual in Loch Ness that is suggestive of a substantial underwater presences or potentially large aquatic creatures.
They found Nessie sitting on Crowley's old property, like rocking back and forth.
I've been deep scanned.
I need to talk to somebody, please. Here, show us on this Bigfoot where they touched you.
The exact nature of the readings remains under investigation, but the general manager of the tourist attraction expressed hope that this mysterious development would ultimately mark a major milestone in the search for Nessie. Now, this was made
Jesus Christ.
on an excursion on October 3rd. It identified the distinct anomaly. And
so if this was Scooby-Doo, you're Velma.
Right.
I'm Fred.
Right.
We're out looking around, right? If we had to pick who we're going to pull the rubber mask off of,
right?
Would it be the person that owned the tour boat?
That gets people to get out in the Loch Ness to scan for Nessie? Yeah, probably. Now, there have been a couple other reports of not just Nessie, but other lake monsters that have happened very recently. But there was another tour boat captain in Loch Ness. His name is Sean Sloggy. And back at the end of September, he was out on the water in his vessel called the Spirit of Loch Ness. See, that's how you name a boat, right? And when he was out there, he noticed that the boat's sonar had picked up a rather unusual shape at a depth of around 320 feet. He said the anomalous form seemed to be some kind of creature sporting a long neck, a sizable body, and what appeared to be fins. And he said it was bigger than anything else he's ever seen. Now, and he's been doing this for a while. I mean, he's seasoned. He's been doing these boating tours. It's another tour group. But he said, we've seen all sorts of fish that shouldn't be here, but this was different. And he said that there were chills on the boat as the rest of the crew observed the odd Nessie-like shape that lingered on the sonar screen for approximately 3 minutes before it ultimately vanished. Now, they later returned to the spot where they had the encounter and scanned again just to see if maybe it was just something, kind of laying down there. And whatever it was gone. So whatever it was, obviously was something that could move on its own volition and just got out of the area.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty intriguing.
No, it is.
There was a hydrophone captures an echolocation sounds on Lake Champlain, from the Lake Champlain monster. So that happened recently. One of a longtime champ researcher named Katie Elizabeth, while she was out on Lake Champlain.
That's a cute name. I bet she's a cutie.
Maybe, I don't know. It's just not a picture.
What's up, Katie?
Her research vessel is called the Kelpie 2.
Oh, she's a cutie.
I wonder what happened to Kelpie 1.
I don't know, but our old friend had a great song called Kelpie. I'm not going to say your name. I know you're listening.
Well, while she was out on Lake Champlain, she deployed a hydrophone that caught curious clicks unfolding rapidly and a puzzling buzzing noise between them. And the series of sounds bear an uncanny resemblance, although wholly unique in comparison to echolocation, exhibited by dolphins and whales.
Yeah.
So it sounded like an echolocation sound, but it wasn't like a dolphin or a whale.
So it could be like a Nessie or some kind of Nessie from a tribe or something.
Could have been. Yeah, and it says this is the third instance when weird suspected echolocation sounds have been detected. So there's something there.
Yeah.
And then there was this one other lake monster sighting that I thought was interesting in Slovakia, where a group of Slovakian hikers said they spotted a sizable mystery creature emerge from the waters of the country's largest alpine lake.
Probably one of their moms.
So according to a local
Those
media report...
Slovakian women get pretty thin. You ever seen them?
No.
They got shoulders like linebackers.
The intriguing...
Like full beards.
It is cold.
It's very cool.
The intriguing event occurred late last month as Pavel Jakovic and two companions were exploring the High Tatras mountain range.
I cannot wait to get the emails on this one. I've been listening to you for 20 years. No more. Talk about my Slovakian mother.
So, while taking a break from climbing, the group was stunned to see a large white anomaly in the, I cannot say the name of this lake because it's in Slovakian, but
it's a weird lake name.
Huge lake. Veliki Hinkovo Pliso Lake or something like that.
So Jackoff Vic.
Yeah. Jakovic, yeah.
Yeah.
And two friends. So they were approximately 500 feet above the lake and they could see it. And they said it was at least 10 to 13 feet long. Like it was humongous because they were that far away and they could still see it. The hiker later lamented that the group was so stunned by what they were seeing that they never thought to take a picture of it.
They said
because that does happen.
They said stunned.
They
Did
said
it translate right?
I don't know. That's just what this article says.
You sure it wasn't stoned?
It might have been stoned. They were so stoned. This says stunned. So one of them said, probably if I were alone, I would have said I was dreaming.
I want to tell you something.
Other people saw it. So.
I'm proud of my daughter.
Why is that?
Because she's unlike anybody I've ever met. So sweet Ariana, I saw a UFO. And I don't think it was a alien craft.
Right.
It was truly unidentified flying and an object.
Right.
So it was outside the window. Obviously. It wasn't flying in the house.
Right.
And I looked out there and I saw it wasn't making any noise. It was moving in that creepy just fashion that it wasn't making that noise, but I'm trying to visualize this for people.
Yeah, people can't see you, so
like,
he's putting his hand across the
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
There's no blinking lights, all this stuff, and I was like looking at it agape. And a gasp even. And you know what she did?
What did she do?
She came running beside me, elbowing me out of the way with her phone.
Oh, to take a picture.
Yeah.
I never think to take a picture.
She was videoing, actually.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, just the first thing she thinks of is to video it. Because she's been raised in this house. So for years and years and years, she's had all these encounters and all these things. That girl.
She was ready.
She doesn't screw around.
No.
Everybody we've ever been around. Have you ever seen anybody grab the camera?
No, I always forget. We're always like, man, I wish I got that on camera. That'd been great.
Like that time we had the UFO come over top of the vehicle.
Right, and we did.
And we wake up in Bluntville.
Hey, we even forgot about that for a few weeks. Like, we were like, oh, we can't wait to talk about this on the show next week. And then we didn't talk about it.
We didn't talk about it when we got home. No. It was weeks.
What? Something triggered it, though. Maybe we went to exit again or something.
Yeah,
we were like, oh, wait.
Yeah, we did the show again.
Yeah.
And we were on our way down there.
Yeah.
And we were like, wait, didn't we? And you're like, yeah, we were looking at the thing out the window, and then we were in that gas station parking lot.
Yeah. I remember.
Time lost, everything.
It was crazy.
And then we didn't remember it.
I think that's a thing. I think when people have, like sightings and stuff, then they don't remember.
It's like when you get stoned. Like when you get high, anyone who's ever been high, I just heard this from people.
Right.
They'll have this great idea, and then they won't remember it again until they're stoned again.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing.
Sort of.
I was talking to somebody earlier today. Hey, Elliot. My good friend Elliot. He said he's going to listen to this episode. So I wanted to say hi to him.
Okay. We'll see if he listens far in.
Yeah. Oh, we'll know. We'll know. But I was talking to him today about some of this stuff, and it was very interesting because I was telling him about an event that happened to us last night. And he has a lot of weird stuff happen to him. Right. And he was agreeing with me that something's just off lately. And every now and then on social media, you'll see people say such things.
Right.
Anybody else not feeling quite right?
And of course, nobody's feeling quite right. It's 2024.
Yeah.
we all just came out of all dying.
Right.
It's not okay.
No.
Nobody's okay right now.
Right.
So I don't usually get into that. But I've been seeing it a lot lately. He said the same thing to me. He's like, He's like, do you think that it's been kind of strange? And yes, I'm putting an accent on it, Elliot. It's how you sound in my head. But he's like,
that's how I think he sounds. If I ever hear him actually talk, I'm going to be so disappointed probably.
No, he sounds like that.
Okay.
He's like a mix of Antonio Banderas and Cheech. It's like sexy, but he's seen some shit. So
anyway,
he was just like, do you think things have been weird lately? And all this stuff. I'm like, yeah. And so I told him that last night you and I were watching Phantom of the Opera, right? And all of a sudden, this little black thing the size of a rat just comes up on the bed and like slides up in between us. And I'm sitting there like freaking out. And of course, you didn't see it because you never see it.
I was watching the television.
But, you know, we just keep doing what we're doing, right? And then the damn door opens and I see the cat come through and you're like, no, the cat's not in here. And thank God that time the cat was in here.
Yeah, I just didn't
But
see
it
him.
happens all the time.
Right.
These things happen with us all the time. I'll be watching television with Raja even, and there'll be like a guttural scream or there'll be a slam or something like that. You know, it's like nonstop. We've had stuff happen for so long.
Right.
That we don't even write it down. Like it's so weird. Like if we ever wanted to sit and write it down, like, hey, let's just write. You know, we did write a book.
We've had the window tapping a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like in our second floor window outside, something tapping on the window outside of our second floor window.
Very Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
That's why we don't
ever look. I think it's funny because we always tell people if somebody rings your doorbell and there's nobody out there, don't open the door, and what's the first thing we do? If somebody rings the doorbell and there's nobody out there, I open the stupid door and I'm like, what? Somebody out here? And I go look and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I even had the thing happen recently with the bang when I was almost asleep.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't 3 this time.
Oh.
So I figured it was just some dead person trying to get a hold of me. I didn't try.
Probably.
I didn't even go look. There's somebody really frustrated outside the window.
Like I've been tapping forever.
Just trying to warn us about these aliens coming. They're like,
there's probably a UFO out there. They're like, hey, come look. You're missing it. And we won't look.
Yeah. Oh
well.
Right. You're barking up the wrong tree.
All right. So let's move on to this next story. And this is a really cool story about a study that was done with lucid dreaming.
How weird is that?
I know. We've just had another story about this, but this one's different. This is about a company called REM Space, and it's a neurotechnology company.
REM Space.
That's specializing in sleep enhancement and lucid
Sounds like
dreaming.
Something sexual there too, don't it? Where'd you get that at? REM Space.
So
I keep it in all day at work. Kind of gets me ready.
REM Space claims that 2 individuals successfully induced lucid dreams and exchanged a simple message with each other while dreaming. Now, this is how they did this experiment, okay? They, and this is at the end of September, like on September 24th, according to the guy who runs REM Space, his last name is Raduga. I don't know what his first name is. He's a Russian man.
Sounds like a great guy to party with, don't it? Where are we going to go tonight?
Michael
We're
Raduga.
going to Raduga's house.
Yeah.
Raduga!
So he says that participants received random words generated by a server through earbuds while they were dreaming. One participant reportedly would get the word and repeat it in their dream, and the second would confirm it after waking up. So like they would give the word to one person who would supposedly say their dream. Another person would wake up and they would ask, and that person supposedly knows the word. So they're claiming it's the first instance of a 2-way dream communication. Now, I don't think this has been peer reviewed.
It's also not the first instance. There's a lot of things going on with earbuds anyway. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about what they're doing to you.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
With earbuds?
Oh, God, yeah.
I did not know that.
Did you know there's a new feature on the new iPhone that you could lay your earbuds in the kitchen? And you could go back on your phone and hit the button and listen to everything that's happening in that room.
Really? You can spy on people with your earbuds now?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I almost didn't want to tell you.
I don't have the new ones.
I'm just playing. I don't care. Not that you would even give a damn about spying on.
No.
But yeah, you can.
You hear a lot of kid stuff.
Yeah, no, you can put the earbuds down anywhere.
That's crazy.
And there's a new feature on it. You can pull it up. I know where it's at.
That's good to know, though, if you happen to just see random earbuds laying around. Step on those things.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways that they can do that stuff now. This one, though, is kind of interesting. The amount of marriages that are going to fail because of that.
Because of sharing things lucid dreaming.
Is astounding.
I feel like both people have to be lucid dreaming. But one of the most interesting parts of this story is about the owner, the Russian man, Michael Raduga, because he made headlines back in 2023, because back in May of 2023 he performed brain surgery on himself to implant a chip in his brain. This is how much he's trying to get this, like how passionate he is about this work. There was a story in Newsweek about how he performed brain surgery on himself and implanted, he almost bled to death by implanting a chip in his own brain. He ended up having to be taken to the hospital where they showed x-ray. He showed x-rays of the chip in there. I think it had to be removed eventually because he is not a neuroscientist. He's not a surgeon. He said he watched some YouTube videos of neurosurgeons performing work, and he took a drill, bought a hand drill, just one you use around your house, and drilled a hole in his head and stuck a chip in there. And yeah.
So I thought that me and Travis, my friend, when I was little, were out of our minds for putting the panties in the picture of the hot girl in my Commodore 64 to try to get the Kelly LeBrock to spit out.
Right.
But we did use a picture of Kelly LeBrock. Like, we didn't want to mess up their signatures.
Right. You wanted to do it right.
We tried.
You tried. Just crazy.
I wonder if his mom ever missed those panties. And I also wonder about him being okay with us using his mom's panties.
Right. Let's not delve into that.
Okay.
All right. So anyway.
Love you, Travis.
Interesting lucid dreaming study.
Hopefully you're not listening.
He was okay with it until you just mentioned it on the show.
No, I was talking about his mom.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got a couple more stories here. A couple of just interesting tidbits here at the end.
Tidbits.
This first one is about Jason Reitman. Ivan Reitman's son says that he felt his late father's presence while writing Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
It's probably him going, "This is a pile of shit. What is wrong with you? Have you even watched the movie?"
He said that he was doing a podcast. It's called Films to be Buried With. The conversation
good name for it.
Segued, into death, where Reitman proclaimed, "Look," he said, "I'll tell you this. I really didn't believe in a beyond until I lost my father. And I feel like I've been visited by him in ways that at least put a question in my head." And when they pressed him for more information, he said that he didn't really want to tell him there was a big thing that happened to him, but it was really personal and he didn't want to go into that.
Good thing you didn't say it on a podcast.
But he did say that when he's writing, he can hear his dad laughing at the jokes he write. He said, there are these moments where I'm working on Ghostbusters and I'm writing dialogue for the characters that he helped create. And it's strange because I'm thinking, he's never going to read this.
They must not have used any of those.
And then, and he says, sometimes he's writing for Winston or Ray or Venkman, and he'll hear his dad laugh and he'll know that the joke that he wrote, pretty much works. But he said then the opposite will happen, that sometimes if he'll write something and he won't really hear anything, but he still feels like he's being visited, he'll be like, "No, I think I need to change that." So, he feels like his dad's just standing right there watching him do it. So
really,
that was pretty cool.
Damn shame if those were reversed, huh? Anyway.
All right, so let's get to this last story, which is about raccoons. I know, big surprise, right?
Yes.
Big surprise. So
big surprise for the lady.
Washington State woman called 911 after being hounded by up to 100 raccoons. Now,
the hound is just not going to work from now on.
So the woman reported that she had to flee her property after 50 to 100 raccoons descended upon it and were acting aggressively. Now, she told deputies that she had started feeding a family of raccoons decades ago. Like, for decades, she fed this one family of raccoons, and it was fine. It's been fine for decades until about 6 weeks ago, when the number of raccoons showing up went from a handful of raccoons to about 100. And she said they were becoming increasingly more aggressive, demanding food, and they would hound her day and night. They would scratch at the outside of her home, at the door. If she pulled up into her car, they would surround the car and start scratching at the car. And she said that they just saw her as a food source now. And so they kept coming back and they kept expecting food. And it started to become dangerous because they were being very aggressive. So she finally had to call the sheriff's office. And they got the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife determined. There was no laws broken, but they had to get someone to come out, and help. Look at this picture of these raccoons. They're just chilling in the yard.
They didn't arrest the raccoons?
They did not arrest the raccoons. It's not their fault. She did start feeding them. But I'm just curious why all of a sudden there was one family and then all of a sudden it was 100 raccoons.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, if you found it, like word got out.
Dude, think about how hard a raccoon has to work for some food.
Right.
Somebody has like a hookup. I mean, you're damn right you're going to tell them.
I keep thinking about that squirrel that eats the bird seed outside. I feed the birds, but I have a couple squirrels that are super fat.
Yeah, you've got a squirrel that's got like coronary problems. Like, I worry about that squirrel.
But I'm just waiting now for like...
They don't even run off anymore.
Like hundreds of squirrels to descend on the property because I put bird seed out for the birds.
It's like, which house is the witch's, Mommy? Oh, you see the one with all the animals around? And the bedazzled bird bath? And
the wildflowers in the garden?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
At least you haven't got the crows here, this one.
I really want the crows, but I'm afraid our neighbors would get really upset because they are noisy. Like when I used to feed them at that last house, they would caw in the morning at like 6 a.m.
They would peck on the windows
until I fed them.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
So I don't really want to get the HOA all up in arms or anything. So
well, the crows would probably take care of them.
Probably.
It'd be like the Munsters, Addams Family. They just show up, and we need a gate. We need like a big gate out there, so when they do show up, the crows all attack them. Let's feed some raccoons.
Let's not feed raccoons. Right now, raccoons are aggressive.
Don't it suck? Because they're so cute.
They are.
They're adorable little creatures.
They are. And they got the little masks.
Yeah,
they're so
little,
cute.
Little claws.
Little claws, yeah. And you could just hand them food and they just eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, scary.
All right. I would feed raccoons.
But not squirrels.
They're probably my favorite wild little critter.
Right.
Just because they're adorable with their little mask.
Right.
That was on one of God's good days. He's like, you know what? I feel really bad about the alpaca.
I wonder what the cats would do if they saw a raccoon outside. I mean, they like watching the chipmunks. There's a chipmunk family we have, and they love watching the chipmunks.
It's like they're watching National Geographic.
I know. They scratch at the windows and stuff.
So listen, guys, hope you liked this. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it gave you a little bit of like, oh, hey, John and Stacey's back. So if you did, be sure that you are subscribed. Be sure that you like everything. Be sure that you share it again. Be sure you get back on the train. The more love I see, the more love I give. And God knows I got some love to give. So the more we see, the more apt we are to be Apple. And we are going to be coming out, anytime. It's because you're a guy.
Yes. Well, according to Chat GPT.
Did you say Jed?
I said Jat because I was trying to say chat, but it just came out wrong.
Oh, well, on that horrible disappointment. I'm John. She's Stacey. We love you guys. And we'll see you next time on the Paranormal Sideshow.